Happy Wednesday! Welcome back to Melanie Loves Death Metal. I am going to be doing a unboxing, even though it's already unboxed, and a review on quite possibly what is going to be one of my favorite releases this year. Full stop. I already know it. Pretty much knew the minute it was announced that it was going to be a fantastic release, and it has been out for a couple weeks now. I've sat on this, I've listened to it hundreds of times, not 100 times, but probably close to 50. No, that's a little high. A lot. I've listened to it a lot. From the promo that I got to now the cassette tape that I have. I really, really wanted to take my time with this because this is probably, without a doubt, my favorite modern death metal band at the moment. I've talked about how much I love this band several times on here in the past. I've shown off their record of their last album, which was called Decrepit Flesh Relic, out of Transylvania Recordings. I've shown off their demos and their comp tape, everything. And what I'm talking about is Civerous. So Civerous is a very well-known band on this channel. If you've been a fan of mine and a sub of mine from the very beginning, then you know that I've talked about them a lot on here. And I've talked about how they're some of the best death doom that I have in my collection that I absolutely adore. So they are now on 20 bucks spin after releasing their first full length on Transylvania Recordings. Like I just said, back in 2021, they have out Maze Envy. So this is out now. I've been really pumped about this. I was so pumped when I found out that they were on 20 bucks spin because I thought they fit the bill perfectly. That was a perfect label for them to be on. So this came out on March 22nd. So it's been out for a couple of weeks now. But I had the promo for about a month or two before it came out officially. And before I get started on the music, let me show off the tape. So the album artwork is by Juanjo. I'm sorry, Castellano. I will put that in the description, which is just simply awesome artwork. I love it. We need to get that on a shirt. And then here is the band. The band is out of California, so it is a U.S. band. And like I said, they had a demo out back in 2019 that was super sought after in the underground death metal scene. People, like, it sold out super fast, and people were selling it for stupid prices. And then Civerous did a reissue, and that one sold out. And then they've also got a live promo that came out on Transylvania Recordings in 2021, slightly before their first full length, and that is phenomenal. That is still available. You should go pick up a copy of that. Yes, it's a live promo, but you can hardly tell that it's live. So here is the album artwork that continues on the other side of the J card with the lyrics of the songs, and then it is on this absolutely beautiful translucent purple tape. There is a vinyl, obviously, in CDs. The vinyl has several different color variants. I got the tape just because everybody knows currently looking for a new job, and tapes are what I'm buying right now because it's the cheapest economical solution for me to keep up with new releases. So yeah. So the music. Well, what are you getting with this? Well, this is a blackened death doom band. Definitely the blackened style is pretty prevalent on this album, particularly. I didn't hear it as much in their past releases, but they've got this very melancholic black metal vocal style added into it on top of death doom metal. So yes, it is a very somber, very melancholic, very dark, and slow at times album. So if you're not a fan of death doom, you're going to hate this record. End of story. Like, just don't even... I wouldn't even watch the review anymore. But if you absolutely love death doom, if you like the slower paces that build up in the songs, and there's climatic epicness into songs and all of that stuff, you're going to get this on this album. So it is 7 tracks at 42 minutes long, so it doesn't beat you too hard with the length of the album. Sometimes death doom albums can tend to be a little bit long and overstay their welcome. This one is perfect amount. The longest track on here, 2 longest tracks on here are the best tracks, in my opinion, on the album, are track 6, Maze Envy, the title track, and then track 7, Geryon, The Plummet. Both of those are over 9 minutes long. And then also the second song on this, Shrouded in Crystals, God, I can't say things, man, is also 8 minutes long. And then you have some normal length songs in there in the meat of the album. But this album is death doom at its finest. It's done very well. It has the low guttural style of death doom vocals, and then that that higher pitched screaming, shrieking style of black metal vocals infused in here. It's got the low, dirgy, slow tempo, and then also it's got the fast-paced death metal that you'd expect. And then the one thing that I think about this album that I love, absolutely love the most, just took me and knocked me out with emotion, is this violin. And yeah, there's violins on this, and it is very melancholic and sad and sorrowful, and you really start to you really feel that. And that's particular on the last two tracks of the album, side B, if you are a tape head. Those are the only two tracks on side B. So when you get to side B, you get to the really sad and depressing death doom, blackened death doom. At times it feels just like the world is ending, like you are about to die, because it is very sad and depressing, but also phenomenal. It really puts you through the emotional ringer, especially with that violin. It is a very good violin, like fits perfectly in the album. Was not expecting it, was fully surprised when I first heard that. I meant to see who played it. Let's see here. All materials are written by Civerous. Yeah. Additional guitars. Yeah. String compositions and arrangements, Aaron Chung and Alonzo Santana. So, yeah, y'all, good. That was good. That definitely is that really solidified this album for me as being just one of the best records that's going to be coming off this year. End of story. Like, I just know it. In fact, I might even go as far as saying this is going to be within my top 5, at least. I posted a Twitter tweet a couple of days ago, and I think I had this a little bit lower in the top 10, but I was just listing off top 10 albums so far. It wasn't even like in an order. I just listed off 10 albums off the top of my head. This has by far been one of my favorite releases to come out this year. And again, it's a very biased opinion because I've been a huge fan of this band for years now, and I've been following them and been very excited for this new record to come out. I absolutely loved their first record, but there is by far a progression with this in regards to songwriting and just overall maturity of compositions and just musicianship that they've created with this. Their first album is very, very good, and I really like it, and I still listen to it quite a bit, but this one is leaps and bounds way better. Like, they created a sophomore album. I feel like they found themselves, and they created something super spectacular. Like, I'm so glad I took my time with this, because I could have just made a review like a week after I heard the promo, but I'm glad I didn't, because my mood has changed quite a bit since this came out. When it came out, I was heavily into brutal death metal. I was only listening to the really gurgly, slimy, disgusting stuff, and this darkened death doom, this very somber, depressive death doom was not something that I wanted to listen to. But I kept going back to it because I'm such a huge fan of this band, and they've been very good supporters of mine as well. So it goes both ways. So there is that there. I do want to call that out because I'm sure somebody will call that out eventually. But it is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I just want to say, give it a chance, especially if you're a Death Doom fan, and if you like that blackened aspect that gets added into it, you'll love this album. And yeah, it's $20 band, but you know what? Fuck you if that bothers you. If you consider me to be a mainstream death metal fan just because it's $20 spin, I don't care. Like, I am a $20 spin fangirl through and through. I absolutely love this band. I love this album. I love several of the other stuff that's already come out this year by them. Just all in all, my opinion, it's okay if you don't like them. I totally understand. We don't have to like the same shit. But I just wanted to talk about this personally from my own personal perspective. Congratulations, guys. This is a great album. I'm pretty sure one of you will probably, Lord Fowler, will probably be watching this. It just leaps and bounds. Like, for a sophomore album, there's a lot of bands out there that have phenomenal sophomore releases, and I might do a video on that someday. They've done that. And sometimes sophomore albums are kind of stinkers, and we all know that. Or they're just not as good as the first album. But in this case, just I feel like they found themselves on this a little bit more. Like, they're in form. They got the label backing to really allow them to take the time to have studio sessions and all these things, because there's almost 4 years in between both of these albums. So they're there. So I love this album. I know I'm gonna go back to it several times this year, especially when it gets cooler out. This is such a winter album. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is gonna go right up there with all the other shit that I listen to in the winter, where it's gonna be black metal and this death doom and all of that stuff. But for now, I'm definitely going back to this several times, even now. It's an absolutely just phenomenal record. So that's all that I had today. Please check this out. Links in the description for their Bandcamp and where to buy it on 20 Bucks Spin. As always, check out Civerous if you're not familiar. Listen to their other record that is also still available on Transylvania Recordings. It is not sold out, so you can go ahead and grab a record or a tape. And possibly a CD. I think the CDs are still there. Snag shirts and all that stuff. So that's all they have, and I will see you guys in the next one.